Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Making of Podcast. I'm Ashley Joves.
And I am Brian Hoves. Thanks for welcoming me back into your home.
I don't I didn't think I had a choice.
Or would it be more appropriate to say, welcome to our crib?
Welcome to our crib. Like literally we are recording in our home office while our boys are at school. Are they still at school?
I think so. Somebody's got them. It's fine. It'll be okay. Hey, so it's been a long time since you've been on this podcast.
Oh, how many weeks? Maybe
Months, couple
no.
months. I mean, you've had interviews, but I mean, actually talking about Smile and Co. and things that aren't you having some amazing guests on. By the way, the guests that you've had recently,
Fire.
oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Um, just a little shout out to you, but like Ritter, Ramsey, Adamo, like talk about three amazing episodes. Scott in there also.
Scott
I know
and
that wasn't technically a podcast. We interviewed him in the group, but man, talk about four of a kind.
I have really amazing friends in high places.
It's pretty amazing.
It really is. And what's even more amazing is that the majority of them will be speaking at this year's retreat. Shameless plug right there.
So yeah. So on that note, if you have not been to the retreat, if you didn't know we throw a retreat, I don't know how that's
It's
possible.
my fault.
Uh,
Sorry.
but www.themakingofpodcast.com/retreat. Go there now, learn more, see all the highlights from the past couple of years, check out this year's speakers because you really don't want to miss them.
I mean, since we're already talking about the speakers, in addition to Dr. Scott Luna, Dr. Chris Ramsey, Dr. Rob Ritter, we have Dr. Andy Miro, and she is the badass cosmetic dentist who works at Appa Aesthetic in Beverly Hills. And I believe she is the only woman doctor out of the bunch.
I don't know if that's
I
true,
don't
but
know if that's true,
she
but
spoke last year and she was
she
amazing.
like brought people to tears. And we have Josh Scott. Everybody knows and loves Josh. I almost called him Doctor.
He's a sommelier. We'll consider that a
Yes.
doctor.
Yeah. He's gonna kill it again as usual, talking about growth. So and wait, and we have one more. Josie Sewell. I okay, I can't pronounce her last name, but Josie and I connected many moons ago, back when Smiling Co. Folsom was opening. And I heard this woman speak, and she has been on my mind ever since. Like, she is so engaging, so powerful. The way she weaves content with storytelling, it is talent, like pure talent. And she's going to be leading us in a workshop. I think it's going to be a 3-hour workshop, and she basically trains DSOs to reach like maximum potential. And you're not going to want to miss this year's retreat.
Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. So you said the topic is growth.
Yes.
Tell me more. Why? What is that about?
Well, okay, so every year we try to have a theme, a centralized theme. The first year it was all about the top 1% of practices. Like, what do we need to be doing as CEOs to reach, the industry's greatest? And we talked about um, mental health last year. It was all about, we can be killing it because obviously, if they came to our first year and they took all the tips and tricks and made really successful practices, what does it look like in terms of burnout and stress and anxiety and home life, divorce? Um, so that was last year. And this year, I wanted to have a very similar thing that, well, honestly, I choose these words selfishly because that is what we are experiencing at Smile and Co. is growth. Like, what does that look like for you? And not just in terms of numbers and profitability, but just how are you evolving as a human, as a dentist, as someone who just wants to be better 1% every day. And now that we have two practices, I mean, the growth curve or the growth graph that you have in your mind isn't necessarily always the case. And I think that's what I'll be speaking on. If I have time to speak, I know they slotted me an hour.
You're
Um,
really good at trying to not speak at your events. Remember how the first year you actually,
did not speak.
yeah,
Yeah.
except for like a little finale
Yeah.
toast. But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be fun. This is our first year outside of California. I think we've talked about that before. We're going to Vail to be doing some amazing things up in the mountains, getting a new perspective on everything. And I mean, what better place to think about growth than at 8,000 feet of elevation?
8,000 feet at the Four Seasons.
I mean, that's one heck of a setting, if you ask me. You did ask me. That's why we. uh, so you're talking about growth. I mean, we're talking about some of the growing pains that
Yeah.
Smile and Co has had. I think we have all got to listen to a phenomenal talk between you and Scott as you guys were kind of walking through some of the challenges that you've had in his discussion on the challenges of growing from a practice owner of one practice to a CEO of multiple practices. But where are things right now with in that process?
Well, right now we just got back from 2 weeks out of the office.
So they're amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And um I don't know, like how I don't remember the last thing that we spoke on about Smiling Co, but we hired we hired another hygienist. I don't know if we talked about that. Probably not. So we hired another hygienist. And I am in a place where I really want to cut back clinically. Right now, I'm the sole doctor in our second location. And if you haven't seen a lot about the retreat, it's honestly because I've been so busy seeing patients and trying to grow both practices. And there isn't a lot of room in the week to do that, to be a full time doctor, to plan a retreat, to promote the retreat. Um, and then we have 3 kids with so many sports each. So I would love to get to a place where I can really trust another doctor who is going to be, self driven, motivated, hungry, hungry to learn, and hungry to help grow the brand. And but if you're looking to be a part of Smiling Co and you want to move to California, can you just slide into my DMs? I would greatly appreciate that. And if you really want to do like implants, because right now I don't really do a lot of surgery. My other doctor doesn't do it either. So another shameless plug,
Yeah.
because why not?
We might as well. So send your inquiries. Ashley Hovis DDS on Instagram is where she will check them. So if you're looking for a job or what, let's change that. If you want to be a part of the Smile and Co story and learn how to build an amazing practice, an amazing culture, and to build yourself up as an amazing dentist, right? I mean, I think one of the things that was really cool when you're thinking about like trying to grow this practice and trying to grow people around you. When you were talking to Adamo, he was talking about like making sure that as you're building your team, there are these people that are this of the growth mindset, right?
Yeah.
And I think you asked them a great question where you talked about it doesn't really matter if they're Kois or they're Panky or they're Dawson or whatever, all those different those different names that I've learned over the years because you talk about them so much. And he's like, honestly, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, comprehensive dentistry is comprehensive dentistry, right? One person, different terminology or a slightly different way of looking at it. But if you have the mindset that you're going to go do those things
Yeah.
to become that kind of a doctor, then you fit in at Smile and Co. You should apply.
And we're totally serious about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Uh, I don't think they believe us, but
No.
so growing, right? 2 locations. So yes, all the time to be doing clinical dentistry, trying to run the practice.
Podcast.
Haven't been able to do as much of the other things
Yeah.
as would like to be. So we're still walking that journey of figuring out what your individual end game is. Sounds.
The my end game, I think I want to vacation more, selfishly.
Not very good at vacationing.
You are okay. So let's just talk about that. This is a really great segue, guys, because you're getting us fresh off of 2 weeks of Joves vacation time. And I just want to, what kind of person are you when you are vacationing? I am the type of person who, if I am busy at work and like always go, 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 and like thinking about, the stresses that keep us up at night, at on vacation, I want a drink in hand. I want a nice like lounge chair and a Kindle. That's it. That is all I want. And Brian, what do you like to do on vacation?
I mean, I want a beach, first of
Okay.
all. So that I think one of the challenges that we had was we were on a cruise, which means you're on a boat, which is not a beach. And
But we ported
we ported and we made it to one beach, no, two
two
beaches.
beaches.
And those ones were those days were more relaxing than the days that we didn't find our way to a beach. I think the hard part was being in one room for 12 days with 5 people. And I think that was a challenge because, you know, cruise or, nice hotel doesn't really matter. One room is one room. And our boys are loud and
Yeah, where
crazy.
do they get that from?
No idea. Um, but I think it's different, right? I mean, I think if we were in Hawaii, I can sit on the beach in Hawaii by the
Can
pool in Hawaii. I mean, okay, I tend to be more active. You are correct.
you?
But I
I'm very sedentary.
but I but I can do that more than I can sit on a lounge chair by a small pool or even not by a small pool on a cruise ship.
Okay, well, let's just tell them about our vacation. So we were on the Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas, which is I think the second largest cruise line that they have.
It's stupid big.
It's stupid big. It is a moving island, 7,000 people.
Yeah.
And I mean, you walk into this boat, guys, and it just straight up feels like a mall. Like
It felt
you
like you
you
walked into a mall.
into a mall, but like multiple layers. Like there's a promenade in the middle, and then on the eighth floor they had a whole central park. They put like were those real plants? Fake? I don't know.
They're probably real. They're outside. Who knows?
They even had like almost a Coney Island type feel on the seventh floor with the sports bar. Yeah, no, it was amazing. The ship itself was amazing. I don't necessarily think that we are cruise people
I
though.
think I would have enjoyed that if we did like 3 or 4 days. Like maybe just went to the Royal Caribbean private island and then came back.
Hmm.
Like so you get a little taste of it. Nothing
Yeah.
gets stale. Like
Yeah.
you don't like see the same places and the same things over and over again.
That's true.
You don't spend 7 days in a cruise ship bedroom.
We
Nice,
did have a nice
nice room.
room.
Nicer.
Nicer.
Yeah, nicer than for sure. But it's still
It's
one room
still
with five
with a lot of
people.
okay. So I will say too, so we did not just vacation with just the five of us. There were 17 of us. It was a family trip. Brian's parents were there, Brian's uncle and aunt. They celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary, and then their children were there, grandkids. Like it was a lot of us. And something about being in a big group, you don't really necessarily feel like you're on vacation because you're checking in to see where other people are, like what other people are doing, or like can I do this, or if you were me, because I did have guilt when I would be by myself, like oh man, like should I be checking in with everybody? um and I also get seasick. So, and our last day, there was
Tropical Storm Debbie.
Tropical Storm Debbie made her
Yeah.
appearance and got us all, well, not all, but got us sick. But Back to what I was originally saying. So there were a lot of us. So our boys had so much fun playing with their cousins. And there's also a kids club, which I think is the best part of being in a group or on a cruise, I should say. They did not want anything to do with us during the day. So I thought I would get Brian as like alone, like, more alone time since the cousins were there. There's so much to do for the boys, but I barely saw you on the cruise. You were, even when they wanted nothing to do with you, you were like trying to insert yourself into their activities. I'm like, babe, just let them be kids. There's a kids club. They literally shoot us away when we come in to pick them up. They're like, no, go do something, anything else but pick us up.
So the parental guilt that comes with missing back to school nights and stuff.
Oh, whatever. He just doesn't want to be alone with me, guys. So that's it's the real story. And my other gripe was I am an early riser and an early sleeper. And the majority of the activities were at 10:45 p.m. What the heck?
Cruise life is all about those late night things.
I'm getting way too old for this.
Everything is 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock shows.
Yeah.
All the bands come out at that point.
Yeah. No, I was like yawning
at dinner time.
at dinner. Dude, dinner was at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
That was our preferred seating time because we did not organize the cruise.
Yeah. But, we survived. The kids had fun.
And Disney World.
And then we went to Disney World and got absolutely obliterated by Tropical Storm Debbie. Can we talk about walking through Disney World in like 4 inches of water, just like flooding the streets of Disney World?
In our ponchos. I bought those ponchos and Brian was like, I'm not wearing that. And he's like, you're wasting your money. And I brought it to Florida. And what did we need? Ponchos.
Somehow Ashley predicted that there was going to be a tropical storm passing by.
It was wild.
Yeah,
like
it was
sideways rain.
Yeah, people who live in Florida in the South, you guys, I don't know how you do it, man. That was a storm, and that thing was, I don't know, that was ferocious, and like, man, it was like the first week of August, and it's 8 inches of rain in 2 or 3 hour span.
Yeah, I mean, we made the most of it because obviously you have to.
You're at Disney World.
You're at Disney World, the happiest place on earth. And they do not give refunds. So you're kind of stuck with the weather. So we made the best of it. And I rode Space Mountain for the first time.
Congratulations.
I know.
Our 9-year-old goaded her into riding Space Mountains. Like, you got it.
Oh, and it was so cute. He was like holding my hand and telling me not to be scared. Because, guys, I don't like rides. And I didn't know what to expect being in the dark. Oh my gosh, but I loved it. And then I rode all the roller coasters.
Yeah. No.
Even Tron. Tron was so good.
Yeah. No, I mean it as we were walking in and it was miserable, I I looked at Ash and I was like, this is a memory that none of us will ever forget. Like,
No.
who walks into Disney World in the middle of a tropical storm where the streets are flooding, and we made the most of it, and the boys had a blast.
Yeah.
And I mean, it cleared up towards the end of the day, and you guys ended the day like just pounding roller coasters.
Yeah.
So that was good.
It was so fun. We hit like 23,000 steps the first day, but we also ate like shit. So that kind of negated
23,000 donuts.
The next day at Hollywood Studios, the sun was out.
Yes.
Thank goodness. So that was really fun.
Yeah. No, family trips are family trips, and
Yeah.
getting back to the office after a family trip feels like peace.
Yeah, it's like vacation from the vacation.
At least for me, walking to the office and I'm like, oh, this is so much easier than
No.
being in a single room for 11 straight days with 5 boys and trying to entertain them and make sure they're happy.
Yeah. I think this was the longest time of uninterrupted vacation time that I've taken away from the work office.
Yeah, I think historically, if it was 2 weeks that you weren't there, one of them was usually CE and one and potentially one vacation because I know you've done that a couple times.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
every retreat you take the week after off.
That only happened the first retreat.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you not take last week?
No,
No.
no, I couldn't. We had,
Mm.
we had like a shitstorm brewing at Smiling Cove.
Maybe we should take this year after the retreat off. What do you guys think? Should after Vail, should we all just hightail it to Europe?
Don't tempt me, Hobuz. Don't tempt me. But so now you're hearing just the vacation side. How often are you guys at home? How often are you guys taking time outside of your office? And
I can't talk back to this.
I know, but these are just questions to ponder. What are the goals for this coming year? We celebrated 4 birthdays in our family in 4 weeks. And I just celebrated a birthday this Monday. And what do I want my upcoming year to look like? A lot less clinical dentistry. I really do.
I think that's very achievable goal. So once again, if you'd like to apply for the dentist position at Smiling Co. Roseville, it's a gorgeous office. If you haven't seen it, www.smilingcompany.com. Studio 88 did a phenomenal job
Yes, they
showcasing the
did.
office and that beautiful website. And you know,
We had a
shameless
lot of
plugs.
shameless plugs today.
Well, we've never had a commercial on this podcast, and we figure after like 300 episodes of a podcast, we can at least shamelessly plug the things that we want to shamelessly plug if we're not going to accept somebody's money for talking about whatever they're doing. Right?
It's true.
I feel like it's worth it. What else can we impart on people today?
As a huge thank you, and we'll make sure to get this pod uploaded ASAP.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about the retreat again, just because I wanted to get this information out ASAP. So we're a month away, like a month and some change away from hosting our third retreat. But this is very important, guys. Super important as a thank you to our amazing sponsors and speakers. Each group has some golden tickets that they are able to provide to you guys at no cost. Like, so the retreat is going to be free, which is a $4,500 value if you sign up with any of our amazing sponsors. So like if you have been thinking about a brand new website with Studio 88, now is the time to do it. If you have been thinking about signing up for a course with Scott Luna or the protocol with Ritter and Ramsey, or you want to take a hands-on course with Andy. Am I forgetting anyone? Like, do it now. Do it now, and then join us. And mostly, like, it's a huge thank you to the people who, oh, and Patient News and PPO Profits. Like, we've had such amazing relationships with these companies over the years, and we realize that we can't do this alone. We can't do this without the speakers and sponsors, and we can't do that without you. And it's also a push to get new people at our retreat, because I honestly believe that nothing comes close to what we provide. And I know that I may be biased, but if you talk to any of our past attendees, I know that they're going to say the same thing. There is a reason why Course Karma gave us the best conference award. And it's because we deliver the content from speakers who are freaking flying all over the world to speak in crowds of thousands. And mostly on top, well, not mostly, but on top of that, it's a whole experience. We've curated the excursions. We have all of the meals covered and all the fun and just the camaraderie that you are going to leave with. It's going to feel like you went to summer camp, as Connie mentioned on one of our podcasts. But we know we have the best product, but we need you to experience it for yourself. And that is why we are able to provide those scholarships. So you have a month to get your act together, book your ticket. No, less than a month.
It's easy, right? Fly into Colorado or into Denver, and you can rent a car and drive on up, or you can catch a little connector flight up to Eagle
Is
Eagle
it?
Airport, whatever. Probably
Yeah.
international. Eagle Airport, which is only about a 20-minute drive away. You can just get an Uber, meet us at the Four Seasons. And I mean, quite honestly, like, yes, the content's amazing. Yes, we've basically made the most ridiculous vacation weekend getaway that you can imagine and turn it into a conference. But it's that the time with amazing people, right? The group is amazing. The speakers are amazing. Everybody spends time together outside of the classroom, because this isn't about the classroom. This is about relationships and making sure that everybody gets as much value as possible.
Yeah.
And that happens, when we're having a glass of wine, or in this case, probably a glass of whiskey, when we're traveling between locations and exploring and doing scavenger hunts and seeing an old Colorado
A private ranch,
That's
where we have whiskey tasting, wine tasting, line dancing, and mechanical bull riding. Come on. Like, it's going to be insane.
Yeah. So I strongly suggest you try to make your way there. I am not a dentist, as I think you guys are all aware, but I am a physician. And I do care about learning things like leadership and growth. And I have learned so much from being a part of the conference and meeting all the people and spending time listening to the speakers. And and I'm not a dentist, because it's not about dentistry. There's dentistry there, right? Of course, there's always dentistry when dentists are around, but it's not about just dentistry. It's about being amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Word.
All right. Well, you got anything else that you want the people to know about?
I think this was a good updated episode as to personal life, professional life, and just what's coming up in the next month.
Well, we will have a topic next time, guys, because it's been so long since we've actually chatted on the podcast that there's a lot of things to circle back around about. But next time we'll have a topic so we can actually dive into something.
We should have how they do AMAs?
Yeah.
We should have an AMA.
If you'd like us to do an AMA, if you've made it this far while we've babbled about our family vacation and you'd like us to do an AMA, please submit questions to the making of or Instagram page. Yeah. Or you can ask them in the group, and we'll work towards that too. We can, when we post this episode in the group, start listing your questions for an AMA there. We can start having some audience participation.
I love it.
Until next time.
Until next time, thank you guys again for listening to another episode of The Making of a Marriage with Ashley and Brian Joves. And and your spouses and significant others are encouraged to attend retreat. I don't know if you knew that. That's like huge. And I think that's why all of the significant others message me, because they're actually more excited, I think, in certain situations about retreat. It's a blast. Okay, that's all.
See you guys in Vail.
See you in Vail.